Hello, hello. It's Tuesday night Q&A and it's Dr. T here coming to you live for a little bit of rapid fire Q&A. I am a little late. I do apologize. You know how life just gets in the way sometimes? Well, tonight was one of those nights. So I am sorry that I'm a bit late, but if you have been waiting, I'm glad you are on because it's rapid fire Q&A. In fact, I have one question that was posed to me in a DM. Thank you so much for sharing. And the question, I think I can interpret the question. But the question was asking about oocyte cryopreservation or egg freezing and doing egg freezing in the context of a medical condition like endometriosis that is known to impact on fertility, and whether or not oocyte cryopreservation, because it's fertility preservation in the context of a medical condition that can impact on fertility, is therefore fertility preservation that is medically indicated. And it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult area. And so what I can say is that the determination of whether or not fertility preservation, oocyte cryopreservation, egg freezing, is medically indicated or not comes down to the treating doctor. And so you have to take a really good history, do really good investigations and examination and determine whether or not you think that somebody's future fertility is going to be impacted on by something they may be about to go through or a progressive disease. So the really clear one for us as medical practitioners is in the context of cancer, right? So if a woman has cancer and they are about to embark on chemotherapy treatment for their cancer, and we know that the combination chemo that they have, for example, is likely to significantly impair their ovarian reserve, because we know chemotherapy can destroy eggs at certain stages of their development, then, or it potentially even make a woman infertile because it decimates her ovarian reserve, so she's thrust into a premature menopause. And we have an opportunity to preserve her fertility before she goes through that, then that is deemed medically indicated. If a woman is about to lose the majority of both ovaries because she has huge endometriomas and she has to have both of them resected for symptom control, for example, and we know that the surgical procedure itself is going to significantly reduce her ovarian reserve and therefore potentially impede her future fertility, then fertility preservation prior to that is medically indicated. But it really depends on the condition, the circumstances, and it is absolutely a personalised discussion with your doctor, and it comes down to the doctor deciding if it is medically indicated. In saying that, I mean, there's lots of grey areas, right, in this space. I totally would support advocacy for elective oocyte cryopreservation in the context of women sort of for psychosocial reasons. So I don't really want to go into the long discussion of that. Next time I do my fertility preservation chat, you can definitely come on and have a listen and we can have a discussion. But there are lots of different individualized situations, and I certainly would support advocacy for a Medicare support of that process. But I'm sure it will be debated at some time in the near future when enough of you guys advocate the government for it. So that really was the only question that I had posted. It was a great question, and I sort of had to think for a moment how I can elegantly get the information across and still satisfy what is actually true by Medicare standards. So I hope to the person that answered that question that was really helpful. So guys, because there aren't any other questions, and I don't think I've seen anything else come through the feed, I'll just have a really quick look back. Nope, haven't seen anything. I want to share with you some thoughts about waiting. And I know a lot of you guys were on last Tuesday when I kind of dropped a little bit of a bombshell on you. And I know a lot of people have liked and commented on my posts about some information for me to share and some things that are going on behind the scenes. And I'm going to have to make you wait a little bit longer. And so because I've got to wait a little bit longer. And it really got me thinking about the whole concept of waiting, waiting to the fertility community. And I made some notes. I'm going to be looking down at my page here, but the thing about people in the fertility community, the TTC community, the recurrent miscarriage community is that it's a big waiting game, and all of us are waiting. And I really want to acknowledge that is a huge component. If you are in that community, that is a huge component of your journey. And I really want to acknowledge the patience that so many of you have and the emotions that you would be going through. The frustration, the disappointment, the anger, the sadness, the feelings of being alone, and the impatience that goes with that. And I want to say to you guys that it's okay. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to feel let down. It's okay to feel confused, angry, sad, resentful, all of those emotions. It's okay to feel that. And nobody should pat you on the back and say they're there, you'll be fine. Because nobody can guarantee you that. So I want to acknowledge that as a fertility specialist who has walked this journey and has heard so many stories and has been part of so many journeys, I really want to acknowledge that I know, I can see. I have been there myself, but not all fertility doctors have, but I know what you guys are going through, and I really want to acknowledge your bravery in all of that. But I also want to let you know, and this isn't toxic positivity, this isn't being your cheerleader or anything other than to remind you, just in case you didn't know, that through this process you have developed a lot of knowledge, skills, and wisdom to deal with that waiting game. You're probably the most skilled up people in the concept of dealing with unpredictability and uncertainty and waiting. And so if sometimes you forget, you're allowed to, but if sometimes you forget that and you think that I'm not dealing with this waiting, you actually have everything inside of you. Every time that you've had to wait, every time you've had to deal with uncertainty or unpredictability, you have implemented a skill that you've learned, or somebody has shared with you, or you've read on a chat group, or you've just developed yourself. You have all the knowledge, skills, and wisdom within yourself to deal with the waiting game probably better than anybody else that you know. And so coming full circle to I'm making you wait a little bit longer is I'm playing the waiting game too right now. I really am. And I'm delving deep inside of me to a lot of skills and knowledge and wisdom that I've learned through previous experiences in my journey, to know that I've got everything inside of me to deal with that unpredictability and that waiting game. And know that there is an end at some point. It might not be exactly everything that you envisaged. It might not be what your expectation is, but there is an end point at some point. And for this waiting game for me, it's coming. Just have to wait a little bit longer. I can't predict exactly when. But I just want you to know that I'm walking this journey with you, both, I guess, metaphysically But also in reality, I walk that journey with you, the waiting game, the uncertainty, the unpredictability. And so I know you. So I really just wanted to share that with you, because it's really been going around inside my head about that. And I wanted to share it with you. Now, somebody did ask a question. Thanks for doing this, Elizabeth. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure, Hayley. PCOS is a syndrome that I'm really passionate about. It's a lifelong thing, and it's something that I tell all my patients, you just got to manage it. You can't cure it. It's just managing it. So I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked that you have got the outcome, and congratulations you for putting in the work, and congratulations for playing that waiting game. So guys, wrapping it up tonight, just giving you some food for thought. Mull on that. It's not far to go. I promise you, as soon as I can, I will let you know. So hopefully that will just help you guys to continue moving forward on your journeys. Take care of you this week. We do have some information for anyone who is a little nervous about this Sunday. And we'll be sharing it with you on social media really soon. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Look after each other. Look after yourselves. Make sure you fill your cup, because without you filling your cup, you can't help others, right? So look after yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Bye.